After months of leaks, rumors, and a carefully crafted launch sequence from OnePlus, the company's new mid-range smartphone has finally been unveiled, giving OnePlus a noteworthy entrant into the ever more important sub-$500 smartphone segment. And as you can imagine, there's a lot to unpack here. So let's get started. Android manufacturers have been dominating the mid-range smartphone segment for years now, with Apple refusing to play within the space. But that all changed this year with the launch of the 2020 iPhone SE, a $400 smartphone. At €400, the OnePlus Nord technically beats the SE's starting price point over in Europe by 20%, while still offering a handful of flagship tier specs without the usual build quality and performance issues that we typically see in a mid-range device. For starters, this is the cheapest 5G smartphone that I've tested so far, and that's because of the Snapdragon 765 processor on the inside. Now, it is nowhere near as powerful as the Snapdragon 865 that we've seen in flagship devices this year, but thanks to the phone's 8 GB of RAM in the base model, it still should be quite a competent gaming device. Now, if you're looking for added multitasking performance, you can bump the internal RAM all the way up to 12 GB if you're willing to go with the €500 variant of the device, and that brings the storage from 128 all the way up to 256 GB. But the high-end features don't stop there. OnePlus has slapped on a 6.44-inch Full HD AMOLED panel with a 90 Hz refresh rate and a fingerprint sensor mounted below it. The phone essentially has the same camera setup as the OnePlus 8 as well, using the same Sony IMX158, which is a 48 megapixel sensor. The difference here though is that now you have a quad camera setup on the back, with the main camera 8 megapixel ultra wide with a 119 degree field of view, 2 megapixel macro camera, and then finally a 5 megapixel depth sensor. Now, the macro camera just being 2 megapixel is really a throwaway gimmick, but the overall camera experience that this phone has to offer is absolutely phenomenal, especially when you consider that you get dual front-facing cameras with an ultra-wide camera there as well, just as what you got on the Pixel 3. Honestly, I wish every smartphone had this, since the camera experience is just so much better when you have that secondary lens to fit everybody in the shot. Crammed inside the phone is a 4,115 mAh battery, which supports the company's Warp Charge 30T charging technology for 30-watt fast charging. Unfortunately, there is no wireless charging on the inside of this phone, but honestly, that's not that surprising since OnePlus didn't even give it to the regular OnePlus 8. As for the phone's fit and finish and overall build quality, you really can't tell that the OnePlus Nord cost €320 less than the regular OnePlus 8. The phone feels like any other OnePlus device has, and even has the signature notification slider on the side of the phone right next to the power button. The only real difference that sets this phone apart from other OnePlus devices is the fact that the camera module has been moved from being centered on the back of the phone to shifted over to the left-hand side. Other than that, you could easily mistake this for the OnePlus 8. But there are a few downsides to the OnePlus Nord as well. The phone adheres to the flagship smartphone mantra of forgoing the 3.5mm headphone jack, while also including only a single mono speaker at the bottom of the device, rather than the stereo speakers that we typically get on high-end devices at the top and bottom. You also don't get a microSD card slot for expandable storage, a key feature that many mid-range smartphone buyers still love to this day. And of course, like most other OnePlus devices, there's no official IP rating here as well. As for the phone's availability across the globe, the OnePlus Nord is available in India, China, Hong Kong, and Malaysia, and 28 other countries scattered across Europe. North America, which is arguably the company's most important market, is being left out, at least for now. The official word is that the phone isn't going to be available in the US or Canada, just like last year's OnePlus 7 didn't make it over here either. Like all other smartphones, the OnePlus Nord isn't perfect, but at €400, it is one of the most compelling mid-range smartphones that I've personally ever used. Let me know what you think in the comments below and whether or not you're going to be buying the OnePlus Nord. And for our full review and other OnePlus Nord coverage, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.